Alright guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. We're gonna go ahead and jump into one of these team versus videos. I do like doing these are fun. I like to save them for like when a certain occasion happens though. So, we just had the 8th anniversary LR's release here on Global Dokkan. So I felt like now was probably a good time to do one of these verses. So we'll do Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta's team against the GT Goku and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta team. Now, for the most part, the team we're running is very, like, it's most of it is just the overarching core of the Power of Wishes category, right? Which is mostly what we're rocking here, right? Like, Bulma, I believe, is going to be in, like, every single one of these runs we do and stuff like that. I'm more so, I stayed GT-centric a little bit. Bringing LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, and then obviously the new LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and the GT Goku and Vegeta side. Now remember, again, these aren't really races per se, and it's not really like, oh, this team is better than that team. It's more so just to get, like, I don't know, maybe like a solid build, depending upon the event, for like each team sort of side by side, and just take a look at how each team is sort of doing, again, sort of side by side. What we're going to do here is we're going to fight Red Zone Bojack, who of course is a tough fight. And then we're going to go from Red Zone Bojack into the Wicked Bloodline Edition Final Form Cooler fight. Those are the two fights we're going to do back to back. Since I wanted to run Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, the 7th anniversary LR, on their team, the GT Goku and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, I figured, okay, well, we just rock the gods. On the Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta team, right? And it's like, I feel like we have a pretty good core sort of together. Now, on the GT side of things right here, I had tried to set it up to where this Spirit Bomb Goku could get a finishing blow right here. But, I mean, Bujin and Beto and these guys, you know, they didn't quite hang as strong as I would have liked. And then Zangia lives with the smallest sliver of health ever. Because remember, unfortunately, that stupid Goku does have quite a substantial buff he gets by delivering an actual finishing blow, right? Which certainly can hurt us a little bit. I feel like maybe our rotations weren't the craziest for the Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Vegeta side of things as well. Maybe, you know, we could have had some slightly better rotations, but we'll kind of see how things are going to work out over there. So on the GT Goku side and Vegeta side, we have two slot 1 characters that I was going to rock, LR Vegeta and Trunks, and then LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku. I think our rotations actually ended up being really, really good for us, because I decided to float Vegeta and Trunks off right here, and I was thinking, and I believe this does actually end up true too, that we'll float Vegeta and Trunks off, and then they're going to come back during the final phase against Tech Bojack, right? That's one of the main reasons I brought that Spirit Bomb Goku too, by the way, is because in this fight, you're going to want to bring strong int characters more so than anything. Because remember, Bojack can definitely be tricky. I think even like the 8th anniversary LRs could potentially get caught by Bojack, because every single turn he will lock a character and he will seal a character, which really is a pretty devastating combo that Bojack has access to, right? That's definitely not something to really, really play around with. So trying to line up like, you know, slot 1 characters correctly against that Bojack can actually be pretty good. Now, I think it's mainly because of the GT Goku and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. They finished off Bojack's minions a little bit faster. So, you know, that team is sort of a little bit ahead. And again, I think it's more so because, remember, the 8th anniversary LRs, both of them, they function the same way in that they get an extra 100% defense in slot 1, and then they get the extra 100% attack in slot 2 or 3, right? So in that first turn, we did rock the Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta in slot 1, because I felt like they would have been our best sort of defensive option for that slot 1, right? Because remember, the 5th anniversary Blue Fusions are really, really good, and we see a lot of them in this video. But the thing about them is that they aren't really that good until they're in blue. I mean, in slot 3, they have 70% chance to dodge. But if you have both base Blue Fusion slot 1, you're in trouble. Now, the key ended up really annoying right here. We actually got 5 orbs for God Goku. And, of course, Bojack supers right away. God Goku doesn't dodge it either. Now, remember, if you are shy of the 6 orbs with Dokkan Fest God Goku, even with 3 orbs, he does get the 60% chance to dodge. We just didn't really get the good RNG for him to be able to get the dodge off right there. So we take a reasonable amount of damage. Honestly, I was surprised Bojack did that much, but remember, this is God Goku's first turn, right? God Goku is really, really strong, but I mean, you know, you guys are going to see, Gold players, you guys are going to see that when you're running these 8th anniversary LRs, when they do, you know, 4 10 million attack stats, and it's like, you know, you probably want to build them with a lot of crit for the Spirit Bombs, and, you know, they're doing 4 supers with 3 of them being crits, stuff like that. These bosses, they don't stick around, right? Like, they're not just chilling forever. You're killing these bosses really, really fast. Like, look at this. Like, we one-turned in Bojack. Like, we fodderized him. Then over here, Bojack is getting to his annoying self with the lock and the seal. Luckily, though, we are still able to run Super Saiyan 4 Goku in slot 1. Interesting the way the fight has gone on. We're not actually even able to do Goku's standby yet. Although it doesn't really matter so much in this fight, right? Because Goku has type advantage right here. Goku gets hit first, too, so Goku really should be able to eat this like a champ. I don't think this is going to be scary at all. Yeah. Yeah, LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku, I mean, he's a behemoth, man. He is a beast. There's no doubt about it that this Super Saiyan 4 Goku, he is absolutely ridiculous. Now, one other thing to keep in mind, when doing these videos, I do have all of the animations on and stuff like that. I don't have a skip button on or anything like that, so, you know, we kind of just have all the animations just sort of rocking and stuff like that. Spirit Bomb Goku, unfortunately, he did get sealed here, and I would have liked to have gotten a little bit more footage out of him. That character, I mean, he's not, you know, it is what it is. He's not the craziest. Now, we got Blue Vegeta locked in slot 1 while sealed right here. I think that this is a great example. By the way, I'm just kind of figuring out how I want to do the key, because remember, Bulma needs a lot of key, and then the LR Gods need Rainbow Orbs for dodge as well. So I'm just trying to sort of figure out how I wanted to do it. But Blue Vegeta is locked in slot 1 and sealed, so he can't super attack, which is unfortunate, but this is where the Blue Fusions really begin to get crazy, right? Is he's locked in slot 1, but oh, right! He has a 100% chance to dodge, so it doesn't actually even matter at all. Vegito is just going to dodge like crazy. None of these supers are going to touch him. Like, there's just literally nothing to worry about for Vegito, right? And then Bulma is going to pop that support, and then everyone's going to start to do a lot of damage, and we will be able to cut Bojack down pretty fast. Then over here, we're doing the standby into the GT Super Saiyan Vegeta, which means the damage skyrockets on this team. Remember, he has the ridiculous 8 key and 80% support. It's just so busted. 80% support is, like, laughably good. It's so powerful. So having the huge support from Vegeta, we really should be able to cook, you know, quite easily. I believe we do finish Bojack out on this turn. Vegeta and Trunks, by the way, is still hanging in strong. I love that character. I think they're looking really good. If we look at the way Vegeta and Trunks have aged, I think if things go well, maybe we could see LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku have a similar amount of, like, type of aging. Although, depending upon if we do get, like, a massive power creep, like 9th anniversary power creep or something like that, which I think is on the table. Going into the 8th anniversary, I was telling people I do not anticipate huge power jump like 7th. They can't do that. They can't, like, you know, I rainbow everything. I'm a whale. I grind up everything, blah, 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 blah. Like, I'll always be able to handle it. But 99% of players, they can't do that every year where your entire box is invalid, right? Like, I feel like it works every couple of years. It's fun. It's a nice little reset. But that's not something Dokkan could do all the time. So I didn't think it was even, there was like even a chance it was going to happen for the 8th anniversary. 9th anniversary, maybe, but I still feel like it probably would only be like an incremental increase. It's not going to, like, I don't think, you know, all right, 9th anniversary, the bosses are doing 2.5 million supers now. I don't see it, right? Because, you know, you got to understand, like, you know, they can make the newest characters able to handle that, but most characters can't, right? Any cooler dies, Beast Gohan die, like any Gohan and Goten die, any like sort of like decent like offensive character that doesn't have crazy defensive abilities would just be instantaneously fodder, right? Like if they did that. So I don't know that it's gonna happen super soon. All right, so we're moving into the cooler fight. I did change the team up a little bit. I brought in Beast Gohan for this fight against Cooler. I feel like Beast could potentially be a pretty solid option for this Cooler fight, depending upon how things go, though, right? Like, he would need to get his super attacks in, depending upon how the turn goes, right? He would have his guard up for the first couple of turns, but, like, he's more of kind of like the last unit added to the team, right? Like, we get this opening rotation, obviously, I mean, he's in the last spot, and I'm gonna try and prioritize Ki for, like, these other GT units anyway, because they're all just better than Beast by a long shot, right? We did the standby on the other side for the Spirit Bomb, but we're not, obviously, we're not going to be getting the Spirit Bomb, right? Like, we're going to do way too much damage. Bojack doesn't quite have enough HP to be able to survive long enough for us to get the Spirit Bomb off, but that's all good, because I believe we will finish him off with Vegito Blue's active skill, actually. VB will actually get the finishing blow, right? It's funny, we have Gogeta's turn of guaranteed dodge as well, but it's not going to matter, because Vegito's just going to kill him before the turn starts. So, yeah, we're looking pretty good. Again, even though I did, you know, make some slight changes to the teams between these different runs, it's like Bulma is a constant. Like, there's just no... you know, I don't see any scenario where you don't want to bring Bulma on the team. She's just that good. Just her effect on the entire team, not only with the huge support buff, which works really good for all the characters, right? Especially when you're bringing, like, these big LR-heavy teams, right? Like, LRs need a lot of Ki. The thing about TUR characters these days, they don't often struggle for Ki at all. It's mainly LR-type characters who are going to, you know, really benefit off of, like, Ki support and stuff like that. But not only is Bulma giving the multiple turn Ki support, attack and defensive support, but Bulma also creates Rainbow Orbs, which makes things significantly easier on the team. All right, so going into the second run, I did take LR Vegito Blue off. I don't even want to... I mean, Vegito Blue can work well in this fight, for sure, because he'd have type advantage at the start right here. But then, you know, against Cooler at the end. Honestly, Vegito might actually be better for this fight than Gogeta, because Vegito, you know, while the characters are weaker, which is in base, Vegito would have type advantage, and then we're probably only going to have, like, one turn against Int Cooler, where Vegito would have guaranteed dodge anyway, right? We had a pretty bad opening rotation here for the Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta team, but the way things kind of play out, there's not, like... A super attack by Cooler immediately would have, like, could have been really bad. I mean, depending upon how the turn would have been different, I would have moved things around. I felt more comfortable putting the 8th anniversary unit in slot 1, though, to get the extra defense, and they don't have to worry about potentially being supered before they attack, so I felt like that was definitely the smart way to go about that. Remember that this Cooler right here, this base Cooler, he is... pretty much like the hardest hitting turn 1 boss there is. I guess, I mean, does he hit harder than Int Sin? I guess I'm actually not super sure on that. I want to say, based off of my experiences, I feel like this Cooler actually does hit harder than the first phase of the hardest fight in the game, that Sin Shenron. But maybe not. It probably is between this Cooler and that Int Sin. But this Cooler, I mean, he could do a lot of damage, so... You know, we would want to make sure not to get caught with the super attack. That's the other thing, too, is, remember, this Cooler, he has a very powerful super attack, but it is a beam super. Yeah, dude, my luck with that Carnival Goku is so bad. If you guys watch a lot of my content, you'll know that Carnival Goku, lately, not only do I never get the beam counter with him, but he never dodges either. Like, understand, we had 2 procs right there, 50% chance to counter, and we had my dodge was like 27 dodge or something like that. On the right side here, we jumped into the standby, so we'll go ahead and get Oob out. Right, this is really helpful for these fights, man, because Oob also, you know, like Bulma, Oob is giving them massive multiple turn support, right? So he's just gonna make things a lot easier. We got a good, like, sort of roll right here with a lot of Ki for him, and look, like, Ki is not really an issue. Like, we got honestly a pretty good sort of roll right here in terms of our Ki and stuff like that. So that will allow us to sort of cook pretty well, right? Like, just one turn, and we already have all the Ki necessary to be able to swap into full power. Now, I don't believe we even get full power Super Saiyan 4 Goku. I'm pretty sure we kill Cooler before full power even comes out, right? Like, Cooler is, like, a tough fight, but he does not have that much health, right? Like, it's just, he has the 2 phases. You know, they really, just with how much damage has increased, I mean, compare the damage that, like, you know, LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta does right here, which is reasonable. They do reasonable damage. But compare that to what the GT 8th Anniversary unit does, right? And you'll see that it's actually, like, incomparable how much harder the GT unit is hitting. Like, how much more they're bringing to the table than that unit. So, one thing that they could really do, I think, for, you know, the next difficult content, number one is really stretch out the amount of HP the bosses have. So, like, you know, I think, like, Red Zone Broly has, like, what is he? I think he has, like, 50 million or 60 million HP, something like that. Maybe, like, these final phases, you know, bump them up to, like, 100 million. And I think a way that they can make the fights more difficult without really making things crazy is, you know, the bosses, I mean, turn 1 could start having million damage super attacks. That would be very difficult on many characters, but, I mean, they can make fights more difficult without directly just being like, all right, 2 million damage super attack now. And I think 8th Anniversary Sin is a perfect example of that, right? 8th Anniversary Sin is the hardest fight in the game, but he's not out damaging the Cell Max event with his super attack, right? It's not like, you know, Cell Max and Metal Cooler Core, you know, hitting it for basically like 1.8 goddamn near, right? It's not like Sin is on that level, because he's not. He doesn't hit quite that hard. But they still made a tougher fight. So it's like, there's things they could do. Like, remember the collection of epic battles, the bosses that and the Gohan and the Cell, they'll super you and they stun you for 9 turns, right? I think that is interesting. Imagine if there, you know, there's a really tough fight. I've been pushing for a double Vegito Worldwide Download Celebration. So what if there's a Vegito Red Zone fight? And it's like the opener, like he supers turn 1, and then he stuns the character for like 10 turns. That is how you could make a fight more difficult without pushing up the enemy difficulty. And, you know, maybe that sounds annoying to some people, but there are ways around that. Yajirobe's active skill would heal that. I believe Bardock and Gine's active skill as well would heal a debuff like that. There are some characters that could heal villain debuffs. So I think that would be great. I think that would be a really nice thing. Like, add, you know, what the bosses of the collection of epic battles did to like a red zone level boss, and it could be fun. And if it's phase 1, again, you get stunned for 9 turns, and the character essentially is locked out of the fight. I think that would be good. I think that could be an interesting, like, really difficult fight. We did finish things off with the GT unit. I mean, that character, they just blow shit away, man. So does the Super Saiyan 3 Goku and Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta. I don't know, like, I feel like that team just kind of fell behind, just because we had bad opening turn RNG, I think, on both fights is the only reason. Because, I mean, we rocked Vegeta and Trunks and their long-ass intro on the GT side of things, and they still finished quite a bit ahead. I mean, to be fair, the LR Gods, they also have a long-ass intro, right? And I guess, like, EGL Carnival Goku, he's a great unit, but he's not, like, some dominant damage-dealing character, right? Like, when he gets hit 50 times, he could do, like, a 10 million attack stat. Like, oh boy, right? Like, yeah, like, we gotta get hit, you know, 7,000 times first. It's like, so he's not really outputting as much damage. Again, he's more balanced, right? He's got the heal, he has the defensive stacking, he has the counter, he has the guard, right? Like, that Goku just has a lot to him. But we make it here, and this is, you know, pretty much it. We have Blue Gogeta, who's going to be capable of giving us the 100% chance to dodge. We're going to be able to get the Blue Gogeta active skill here, right here, with the LR Gods as well. Funny enough, too, man, you know, it is interesting to think about the fact that we've never gotten a standalone Blue Gogeta and full power Broly, but, like, people want that, but, like, it's never really been a huge deal. Like, we've never had the standalone Blue Gogeta, and people have never really, like, I've heard people ask for it, but they've never been upset about that. Why is that? Because the 3 units that incorporate Blue Gogeta are all masterclass done, right? Like, the LR Gods, the 5th Anniversary Blue Gogeta, and then the Dokkan Fest, the EGL Blue Gogeta. All 3 are just incredible aesthetically and design and everything. So people, it's like, yeah, we want a standalone blue Gogeta, but it's not like we're dying for it. And that's the difference between the old Beastie Boy over there, right? Like, it's like, yeah, like we need that standalone beast for sure. I don't know, Gogeta, they've taken a lot of his stuff, but I think there still is some stuff they could grab for Gogeta, to, you know, give him a standalone blue Gogeta. I'd love that. Standalone blue Gogeta, standalone full power Super Saiyan Broly. I would like if they, you know, a new named character into the game is always a good thing. Because then it's just another character to link up, right? Like, it does matter. Like, people would say, oh, well, we don't need another blue Gogeta. Yeah, we do. I mean, if we had standalone blue Gogeta, the first named character that, it dramatically helps out all these fusion teams, right? You have another option to rock with it. So, that's the thing with full power Super Saiyan Broly. Great, like, potential movie boss and villain buff, right? You never know. You know, if they decide to make... I mean, now that we have LR Bulma existing in the game, anytime we talk about a character, we can say, well, theoretically, they could be the villain version of Bulma or something like that, right? It's like, you never know. They could. It's possible. It's possible. So, there we go. 8th Anniversary LRs, both incredibly good. At the teams we could run, Power of Wishes, Final Trump Card, and Battle of Fate are the 3 categories we're working with for the leader skills here. Just so utterly ridiculous. Let me know what you guys think of both 8th Anniversary LRs, but I think they're really fun. I think their teams are really fun. The Spirit Bombs are fun. We've got some real good stuff going on here with the Dokkan 8th Anniversary. So let me know what you guys think. I love you guys, and I'll catch y'all next time.